Here's Business Spotlight from your local voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990. And here's your host, George Bryant.
And George is out again this week, but it's Tuesday. I'm producer Greg, and sitting in here with me, it's Tracy Strickland. Let's talk growth with Triumph Bank. How you doing this morning, Tracy?
Good morning, Greg. I'm great. Glad that it's another Tuesday to be with you guys. Hopefully George is going to be healing from his bird accident very soon. Got to be careful on those birds, friends.
Yes.
There's no doubt about that. But I'm really super excited to have one of our newer team members on the show with me this morning. This is Christy Edgar. She joined us, when was it, May? Mm-hmm. So May. We've been together about 5 or 6 months. Christy is just an amazing new addition to our team. She is our banking center manager in our Collierville office on West Poplar. But she also was specifically hired because of her retail training experience. And so we've brought her on as our retail training manager. So not only congratulations, but welcome, Christy.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I'm thrilled. Having our team members on the show, it allows me to get to know everybody a little bit better and allows our listeners to see a much more personal side to our bank.
Right.
I know that we're super proud to be a community bank and one of the few ones that are still in Memphis, founded here and serving this community in so many different ways. Mm-hmm. I feel like, and we'll talk about this during the segment, but, money is a very personal and emotional thing. And so I feel like when you get to know the person you're banking with and who's taking care of your money and getting to know them much on a personal level, just at least, what makes you tick and what got you into the industry, I think it's just a little bit more helpful, and builds confidence in that relationship. So can you give us a brief background on, I know you've been in the financial services industry for well over a decade now, but how did you even get started doing banking?
It was by chance, actually. I kind of stumbled upon it, and I was fresh out of college, and it was probably not the best time getting into banking, beginning of '08, right before all of that happened. So
good timing, Christy. Good job. Yeah.
So it was a risky move, but it's one I'm happy I made. And the financial service industry is not what I thought I would be in. It's not where I saw myself, but I can't imagine being anywhere else after 10 years in it. I can't imagine doing anything different.
I know. Well, and I've been in the financial services industry for a long, long time as well, and you see so many changes in the industry. And I think I know that we were so excited when you decided to join our team is your background to come and serve as our retail trainer, and we'll kind of get into the weeds about that soon. But I think it's important for people to realize, like, the different hats that you've worn. Like, talk about the different roles that you had at the credit union where you worked, and how that really prepares you for your role you've got now.
So when I began my career, I started out as a teller behind the lines, worked my way up to senior teller. I then transitioned into a collections position where I was in collections, bankruptcy clerk, transitioned to a title clerk. Came back to the teller line and then made my way up through management, and learned everything I could along the way. Fill your skill set and build that good foundation, and I just dug deep.
Well, and it makes you a better manager, obviously, because you can understand the entire process that has to happen in the back office. And we talked last week when we had Catherine Duncan on. It's like, they're the face people of the bank, those bankers that, the customers see every day, but there's so many important roles behind the scenes that make everything seamless for the customer experience that we're so proud of. And by you, having worn those hats, I think it not only helps you appreciate that process, but also allows you to step in and train your team on what to expect and how to make that process better for everybody along the way. So I'm thrilled that you're here. And we're going to have a lot of fun this morning talking. And when we come back, I know we're going to I want you to dig in about your version of the Triumph customer experience, what you provide your customers, in Collierville, and a little bit about what you've experienced about working in Collierville, about what a great town it is. So we'll talk about that when we come back.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
It's Tracy Strickland of Triumph Bank. Let's talk growth. We'll be back here in just a moment on FM 107.9 and AM 990, The Voice.
And now back to Business Spotlight on The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Welcome back to Business Spotlight, shining our spotlight brightly on the folks at Triumph Bank this morning. You can reach them at 333-8800 or triumphbank.com. But with us in the studio this morning is Tracy Strickland. Tracy, how are you doing?
Hey, Greg. Good to be back and good to be here with my friend Christy Edgar, newer team member of Triumph, as our Collierville Banking Center manager and also our retail training manager. And I know that you very quickly embraced not only our Triumph culture, but what we really pride ourselves in providing just a fantastic customer experience. So
Absolutely.
Talk to us about what a customer, when they walk into your Collierville office, what they can expect when they work with you and your team.
One of the things that I love about working, not only in the financial service industry, but in Triumph and especially in Collierville, I've grown to love Collierville. But every person that walks through the door, every situation is completely different. And it's exciting. And it's exciting to meet people where they're at, whatever phase of life they're in, whatever situation they're in, and just really give them the service that is tailored specifically to them. Anticipate their needs, listen to them, and just really get them the best service and give them that Southern hospitality every time they walk through the door, every time they pick up the phone or anything. That's what they can expect.
Well, and then I think that's so important. I think that's what, hugely differentiates Triumph around the other larger banks, because so many banks now, it's a sad state, but, you just get an 800 number,
Right.
or you have to make an appointment in order to come in. And I know that you've already been making awesome relationships with our customers. They come in and share lots of information, right? So you get to know them?
Yes, absolutely. People come in and they feel comfortable and they just talk. We talk about kids, they show pictures, we talk about their pets and their trips and everything they have going on. And recently, a mom came in with her son, and he was fixing to head off to college. They came in to get funds for books.
Oh, man. Those can be so expensive. I can't imagine how much that check probably was.
Well, he was going to, I asked him where he was going.
Yeah.
He said he was going to a university. It's in East Tennessee.
Okay.
And asked him if he had a checking account that he was going to be able to use there.
Exactly.
And he said no. So
wow.
it segued into the opportunity to meet those needs that he didn't even know he had. That's what we're about. Finding
Right.
people, getting them equipped so for smooth transitions and just helping them out.
Well, and that's what it's all about when you talk to people and you open up opportunities. It's not like we're trying to sell a particular product. It's really figuring out what those people's needs are and how we can best fill them to make their banking life easy. And I know we were talking about that particular customer earlier, and you were mentioning, they have a finite set of time. They're walking into the branch and they, need a cashier's check or whatever it might be. But, you're able to convert that, not only, to have that checking account, but he was able to take a debit card out, because we love our instant issue debit cards. And if you don't have that capability at your bank, I mean, it's just one of my favorite products that we can do is, you walk in and open that checking account. If you're ready to get that debit card, we print them in house and right in the offices
For free.
For free. You set their PIN. They set their PIN, because how many times have we gotten a debit card?
And then call.
Yeah, you have to call, or you get that slip of paper in the mail and they've assigned that number. Then now you've got to remember another number along with all the other passwords we have, right? And then, heaven forbid, to try to change that. PIN is crazy, so they can change the PIN right there, and just have that full control. And what I also love is part of our mobile app. You can manage your debit cards right there. It's part of this card valet process. You know.
Right.
So I know that the team will show you exactly like, well, here's your debit card, right? And then we can say, okay, I'm only really wanting my son to have, this limit per transaction.
Right.
You can set that right through your app. I mean,
Exactly.
you can say, I really only want him to be able to buy groceries or whatever. And like, you get these charges for the quote library or whatever. That's the joke, right? And it's the neighborhood bar in college. So you can try to protect the way he spends money as well. But I love that. And like you said, it's just, people, they have a relationship with money that can sometimes be different.
Yes.
And the way they approach money, it can be a very nervous thing. So talk about how you make people calm and able to have those kind of conversations with them.
Right. So more times than not, you interact with people and money is a burden. It's scary. Yeah. It's important to show that money is also, it's a tool. It's a necessity and it's a tool. And to equip people and show them how to utilize that. To show them that we control our money doesn't control us, and you're in control of it. Yeah. And to ease that tension that is brought on by money a lot of times. It's also convenient. Mobile banking, online banking. It is super convenient. It's super easy. Make your money, work for you instead of working for it. Right. Ease that and then show them how to
make it easy for them. I mean, like all the time we're having new additions to our app and our online banking platforms that sometimes it just, hits the app and we don't even realize it. So like if you want to come in and get a tutorial, Christy and her team can walk you through how to do that, take the mobile deposits on your phone. I mean, we just don't want banking ever to be a burden for our customers or to be another errand. We want to make it as convenient as possible, and that's the beauty of working with a community bank like Triumph, right?
It is.
Well, since you've been moving and working in Collierville, I know you've gotten involved in the chamber.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk about that and just the things that you love and what you've really appreciated so much about Collierville so far.
So Collierville is this hidden gem that I feel like the people that are in Collierville, they know how awesome it is. Yeah. But until you are in Collierville and immersed in it and immersed in that culture, it truly is a small town. Wow. And you really don't realize it till you are in it. Seeing the same faces, you go to Walmart or Target and you see people, especially being in the chamber, being active in the chamber. The chamber is so supportive of the Collierville community. The small businesses in Collierville, the banks in Collierville, they really take an interest and want the best for not just the city, but the citizens of the city. Right. And it truly is a very unique culture, and I'm so excited to be a part of it. And the chamber has really introduced me to so many people in the community, and it's been so fun.
And that's a great connector and allows you to be able to tell the story of Triumph so much with those connections. Well, let's talk about your role as the retail training manager, because I know when we had Catherine on last week, we talked about how much we are very proud of our tagline of Let's Talk Growth. Our team has grown just like very, very quickly. And we're at like 142 team members. We have wonderful new talent that's always joining the bank. And so talk about, like, we've obviously always provided training for our team. But now what you're going to bring to the table through your expertise and having run this for years before, talk about like the overview of the program and the structure and what our team members always can expect when they're going to start at the bank, onboarding and continuing on with training.
So training is, I think it's misconceived as just this one time I'm going to teach you how to do these procedures, and it's that's just one facet of training and onboarding. Catherine and her team are fantastic with setting up the initial introduction of Triumph for our new hires. And so when they pass that torch on and I take my role very seriously in equipping our new staff and seasoned staff with tools for their success, whatever their definition of their success is. And part of that responsibility is finding out what goals they have for themselves. So it's not just giving them procedures and creating a manual, which our manual is coming along and it is fabulous.
It's awesome.
But it's also really investing, finding out about your employees, painting that career path. And so that training it encompasses a lot. But they spend time with me getting that one-on-one training, the introduction to our systems, And then also an introduction to the Triumph culture, which is super important, and it sets Triumph apart, and that is one of the many things I love about Triumph. So it's awesome. Yeah, it's so fun.
I love hearing you as a new team member. I can already feel the passion in your voice, when you talk about it. And that's so important, that they get that first tip from you. And, like you said, it's not just a one and done, you're with Christy for a week and then go work in the branch and have fun. It is an ongoing process for a couple of different reasons. The compliance rules in banking change all the time. Technology changes all the time. So you're really that face in front of them that says, okay, these are some changes. Let's get together. And provide those updates, and that's just incredibly important that our team is, made aware of all those things that are going on. But I just said you're doing an awesome job. I know we've already had a couple of team members go through your training process, and part of that is being able to detect fraud when it comes in the door. And one of our newest employees has already detected 2 different instances where it's been able to protect that customer that it was, being in breach of, and then of course it's protecting the bank as well. So kudos to you, my friend, for already doing such a great job. When we come back, I know we've got some awesome CD specials I want you to talk about, really awesome opportunities for the listeners to make an initial investment in themselves, and
absolutely,
we'll talk about those great things coming up.
Cool.
You're listening to The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
And now back to Business Spotlight on The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Wrapping things up with Tracy Strickland of Triumph Bank. Tracy, go right ahead.
Thanks, Greg. Well, as we close, we really, not only do we provide that great customer experience, but we really, really want to try to, help those customers and get the biggest bang out of their buck. And,
absolutely.
There are a ton of banks. As our CEO, Will Chase, always comments, he said, money is flat, green, and rectangular everywhere, and there's a bazillion different options that you have to invest your money with different banks and credit unions. But we want you to consider Triumph. We're proud of the culture and the experience that we offer our customers, but we have some wonderful new rates that were launched this summer that are extending into the fall. Christy, can you talk to us about those CD specials first?
Absolutely. They are second to none. They really are the
very
greatest.
competitive in the market right now.
Absolutely. For 6 months, you can get 2% on a 6-month CD.
That's amazing.
For 12 months, you can get 2.25. For 18 months, you're at 2.375. And for 24 months, 2.5, which is absolutely unheard of.
2.5%. We are in a rising interest rate market. There's no doubt about that. I remember, a year ago, we were looking at like 0.25%.
Exactly.
And things like that. And so just to be able to take advantage of these rates, have some short-term investments. They may already have a full investment portfolio, but sometimes you need something for those short-term investment needs. So, Christy, what's the best way for somebody to reach out to you and talk to you and ask questions in Collierville?
Sure. I would love for you to stop by and see me.
Yeah.
We're at 1130 West Poplar. Come by and see me. Our branch is absolutely gorgeous.
Got a great team there, too.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I'm super proud of my team. Or you can give me a call at 333-8869.
Okay.
And we'll talk over everything, figure out what's best for you, what you got planned for it, short-term plans, long-term plans. We'll look at everything and decide. And that's another thing, that not just the great rates on our certificates, but whenever you get a notice that it's maturing, we'll call you. We'll send you a letter reminding you, and so you still get service even though you invested for 6 months. You still get that great service. So, and then whenever you come in to open up your certificate, the biggest thing that we find that people haven't even thought about is getting that checking account along with it.
Oh, yeah. Well, tell us about, I know one particular one, our prime timer checking, is something you've utilized a lot, and it's for 50 or 55 and over.
55.
55 and older, but it's a really great interest-bearing checking account too. So talk to us about that and some of those benefits.
It is, and along with the interest that it does, there's no service fee. You get discounts on safe deposit box rentals, which we have safe deposit boxes as well at the Collierville location. So, you can do all of that in one fell swoop. We make it super easy, super convenient, and like I said, we meet you where you're at. Find out what you need, and we've got it.
Well, I think the prime timer is like 0.5%. Of interest. So if you really think about it, and you have your interest from your CD that you're already making 2 to 2.5% on that interest, move it into your checking account. You're making interest on interest. I mean, that's a pretty sweet deal.
It is.
We would love for our listeners to consider that and come see Christy, and
Please
you would be very, very well taken care of. Well, now that you've survived 5 or 6 months at Triumph, what do you think is like your favorite part about being part of our team so far?
There are two things that set Triumph apart, and I have said this before, that Triumph is my unicorn. It is the place that I sought to be. I've wanted to be a part of the culture. It really is a family mentality, a family culture. We take care of our own. We are a team. There are some places, not just other financial institutions, but other places that preach we're a team, but they don't have it. They don't back it up. Triumph does. And then the community involvement. Triumph gives back, not only invests in our customers, in the bank itself and our employees, but in the community. Just got a heart for it, and I love that. Love it.
Well, and I love seeing you there when we serve together. It's just a beautiful thing. So, Christy, thank you so much for being on with me this morning. Thank you for everything you do in Collierville and for all of our team at Triumph. You're just a gem, and we're so lucky to have you. So thanks for being on with me.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Thanks.
That's Let's Talk Growth with Triumph Bank and Tracy Strickland. She's the Senior Vice President of Marketing at Triumph Bank. You can reach Tracy at 333-8800 or online at triumphbank.com. Tracy, again, another one in the books.
I know.
We'll see you next week.
Thanks for your help today, Greg.
You're
Have a
welcome.
great week.
You too.
Thanks.
You're listening to The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Sun beat